Job 33. But now, O Job, listen to my words and hear everything I have to say. See how I have opened my mouth. My tongue in my mouth has spoken. My words come from the uprightness of my heart, and my lips will utter knowledge sincerely. The Spirit of God has made me, and the breath of the Almighty gives me life. Reply to me if you can. Set your arguments in order before me and take your stand. Look, I am just like you in relation to God. I too have been molded from clay. Therefore, no fear of me should terrify you, nor should my pressure be heavy on you. Indeed, you have said in my hearing, I heard the sound of the words. I am pure without transgression. I am clean. I have no iniquity. Yet God finds occasion with me. He regards me as his enemy. He puts my feet in shackles. He watches closely all my paths. Now in this you are not right. I answer you, for God is greater than a human being. Why do you contend against him? That he does not answer all a person's words. For God speaks the first time in one way, the second time in another way, though a person does not perceive it. In a dream, a night vision, when deep sleep falls on people as they sleep in their beds. Then he gives a revelation to people and terrifies them with warnings, to turn a person from his sin and to cover a person's pride, to spare a person's life from corruption, his very life from crossing over the river. Or a person is chastised by pain in his bed, and with the continual strife on his bones, so that his life loathes food, and his soul rejects appetizing fare. His flesh wastes away from sight, and his bones, which were not seen, are easily visible. He draws near to the place of corruption, and his life to the messengers of death. If if there is an angel beside him, one mediator out of 1,000 to tell the person what constitute his uprightness. And if if God is gracious to him and says, spare him from going down to the place of corruption, I have found a ransom for him. Then his flesh is restored like a youth. He returns to the day of his youthful vigor. He entreats God, and God delights in him. He sees God's face with rejoicing, and God restores him to his righteousness. That person sings to another, saying, I have sinned and falsified what is right, but I was not punished according to what I deserve. He redeemed my life from going down to the place of corruption, and my life sees the light. Indeed, God does all these things twice, 3 times in his dealings with a person, to turn back his life from the place of corruption, that he may enlighten the light of life. Pay attention, Job, listen to me. Be silent, and I will speak. If if you have any word, reply to me. Speak, for I want to justify you. If if not, you listen to me. Be silent, and I will teach you wisdom. In here. So Elihu is going on and on. So he was addressing the other people that did not speak. Now he has turned his attention to Job. But now, O Job, listen to my words and hear everything I have to say. See now, I have opened my mouth. My tongue in my mouth has spoken. I am going to let you have it. I'm going to blast you with it. My words come from an upright heart. My lips will utter knowledge sincerely. The Spirit of God has made me, and the breath of the Almighty has given me life. Reply to me if you can. Set your arguments in order before me and take your stand. Look, I am just like you in relationship to God. I too have been molded by clay. Like, you can just hear the Job, you're making a really, like, your argument, Job, is that you're clay. Oh my goodness, Job, so's everyone else. Like, what's your point? What's your point? Well, Job made a point with it, and he's missing the point. He made the point that he treated everyone else the same way. So you're taking his argument and saying what with it? You're just like clay, so I can refute you too? Is that the direction he's trying to go? I don't know. But you're going to sit there. You're going to listen. The Spirit of God is on me. The Spirit of God made me. I have the breath of the Almighty has given me life, and I'm going to use it. And I'm going to tell you what's what, Job. Therefore, no fear of me should terrify you. I'm just clay. You don't have to be afraid of me, Job. Nor should my pressure be too heavy on you. I'm going to come against you. Oh, but it's not going to be too heavy. I'm just clay. Indeed, you have said in my hearing. And now he's going to say what Job said. I heard the sound of the words, which is interesting. There. All right, let me just see. Is there anything in the... It does seem to be well-known universal spiritual symbol for the crossing over the plane of life into death. Yes, the crossing a river does seem to have more universal aspects of it. So not exactly sure who this image is coming from here, but yes, it would have been a known image to the hearers of the book. I am pure without transgression. I am clean. I have no iniquity. Yet God finds occasion with me. He regards me as an enemy. He put me in shackles. He watches closely my past. So these are the things I heard you say. You did nothing wrong, and God's punishing you. Oh, really? Really, Job? I don't believe you. I do not believe you at all. Now, in this, you are not right. I answer you, for God is greater than a human being. Why do you contend against him? That he does not answer all a person's words. So, you're not right in asking God to give you an answer. Okay? Now, Job is asking for an audience. Okay? So let's make a distinction here. Job is pleading his case with God. He is saying, God, I want to know what I've done wrong. God, I have done nothing wrong. Why is this happening to me? He's pleading his case. I don't see Job demanding that God answer. What we're going to have, however, is Elihu is going to make the case. You're asking God for an answer, and you're claiming God doesn't answer. You missed his response, Job. You missed his response. That's what he's going to go with. He doesn't answer a person with words, Job. That's what you got wrong. You think that God has to answer you with words. That's not how it works. It's not what it's going to be. You wonder who the oldest documented God is. That's an interesting thought. I do not know. For God speaks the first time in one way and the second another, though a person does not perceive it. So he's going to make the case, Job, you weren't listening. Job, you weren't paying attention. God was speaking in a dream, in a night vision. When deep sleep falls on a person as they sleep in their beds, then he gives revelation to people and terrifies them with warning. So Job, you certainly got a warning. Let me see what it has here on the footnote for warning. Let me just make it. Seals their bonds, the form of the present translation, and terrifies them when warning is derived only by amending the text. Aquila, the Vulgate, Syriac, and Targum, Job, have their correction for their bond, which is what the KJV used, but the LXX, Aquila, and Syriac have terrifies for the verb. This involves a changing in pointing the Yachtom to Yachtim. The LXX has appearance of fears instead of bonds. The point of the verse seems to be that terrifying dreams make people aware of their ways. Okay. If it was bonds, what would we go with? Their correction, their bonds. Well, either way, you're getting a warning in a dream. You're getting a warning in a dream, Job, and you didn't pay attention. So you were warned not to sin. You were warned you were sinning, and you didn't pay attention. To turn a person from his sin and to cover a person's pride. So you're prideful over there, Job. You should have listened to your dreams. He spares a person's life from corruption, his very life from crossing over the river. Here is another difficult line. The verb normally means to pass through, to pass over, and so the word would normally mean from passing through or passing over. The word sheklah, does at times refer to a weapon, but most commentators look at the parallel of the pit or corruption. One suggestion to Sheol proposed Sheklau, referring to the passageway to the underworld, to perish by the sword. Okay, so we got some variation, some, again, hard, old, one-time usage, weird vowel pointing, Hebrew to go, what are you saying? Your very life crossing over the river. So yes, that's where we were talking about the river Styx idea or any other like death imagery here of crossing over the river. Gaiman, I would say every time you receive a vision at night, peace followed, not trembling, even if it were warnings. Ooh, interesting. God will not visit and leave terror. God is peace. Yes, exactly. So, yeah, I would say you found another point of argument against his arguing here. You would have got a warning that would have terrified, and you should have been straightened out by that. Or a person is chastened by pain in his bed and with continual strife in his bones, so that he loathes food and rejects appetite. So, in other words, what's happening to you, Job, is clear evidence that you've done wrong. Your condition is God speaking to you. Your problem of having no appetite, being in constant pain, having your bones wasting away, your flesh wasting away, your bones wasting away are easily visible. All of that is God speaking to you that you done messed up, Aaron. Like, oh my goodness, how bad is this logic? It's worse than the other guys. He draws near to the place of corruption in his life to the messengers of death. If there's an angel beside him, one mediator, one of 1,000 to tell the person what constitute his uprightness. And if God is gracious to him and says, spare him from going down to the place of corruption, I have found a ransom from him. God could spare you, Job. He could still spare you if you just admit what you did wrong. Then his flesh is restored like youth. He restores the days of his youthful vigor, and God entreats God, and God delights in him. He sees God's face with rejoice, and God restores him to righteousness. Okay, got ads, can't finish. All right, so God will delight in him. God will restore him. God will do all these things. Job, it's waiting for you. It's waiting. That person sings to others saying, I have sinned and falsified what is right, but I was not punished according to what I deserved. He redeemed my life from going down to the place of corruption, and my life sees light. Indeed, God does all these things twice, 3 times in his dealings with a person. So, Job, got a warning in a dream? That's how God spoke to you once. Hey, you had bad things happen to you. That's God speaking to you, Job. Why didn't you correct yourself? God was speaking to you. You weren't listening, Job. I can see by looking at you, God has spoken to you because you are in the condition you're in. Like, wow, this is some faulty thinking about how God and how a corrupt, fallen world works. Man, but I bet there's a bunch of people out there, including Christians, who judge people's lives based on the condition they're in. You're disabled. Who sinned? You or your parents? Jesus refutes that in the New Testament. You've lost your job. What did you do wrong? You must have done something wrong. Like, we still have this mentality in and among us too. Indeed, God does all these things 2 times, 3 times. Yeah, he's even going to do it 2, 3, 4 times. He's going to do it repeatedly, Job, so you can just keep turning back. You can keep turning back. To turn back from his life from the place of corruption, that he might be enlightened, and then the light of life. Pay attention, Job. Listen to me. Be silent, and I will speak. If you have any words, reply to me. Speak, for I want to justify you. If not, you listen to me. Be silent, and I'll teach you wisdom. So you got any words for me? You got any words? I got more words coming. I got more words coming.